Alrighty, and then the last sorts of examples we have are honestly some of my favorites. I have a student that I tutor from a different school, and he goes, these are the full pagers. So they take up a little bit of space, but I think they're really fascinating because all we're doing is adding and subtracting fractions. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of work behind it. But you have to keep in mind that when we are dividing, so we are taking our numerator divided by our denominator. We always have to come back to that. That's all we're doing is division. Top divided by bottom. We just have to simplify it as much as humanly possible so that when we do that division, it's not horrific. So our numerator, I've got x over 6 minus x over 3. Let's simplify that. So our numerator alone, if I have x over 6 minus x over 3, this is pretty easy to get a common denominator. Our LCD would just be 6. So then I change that second fraction into 2x over 6, right? So then I have x over 6 minus 2x over 6. I have negative x over 6. There's my numerator. Ta-da! Our denominator, okay. We have x over 5 minus 7 over 10. Our LCD in this case would be 10. So we change that first fraction into 2x over 10 minus 7 over 10. Now, we can't combine our 2x and our 7. That's fine. Just call it 2x minus 7 over 10. Now, remember that when we are dividing fractions, we are taking our numerator and we are dividing by our denominator. And remember, when we divide fractions, as of yesterday, we reminded ourselves we copy dot flip. So we have negative x over 6 times 10 over 2x minus 7. And we cross cancel, just like we did yesterday. We've got 5 and 3. We can't cancel our x's, that's okay. So we have negative 5x over 3 times 2x minus 7, which you could also call 6x minus 21. Ta-da! Example B is going to be even more fun because our numerator, well, okay, our numerator is super easy. He stays like he is. Our denominator is just going to involve a little bit more than it did in the last example, and that's okay. So our denominator, we need to simplify. Our LCD, as we are taking 2 over x minus 3 plus 1 over x plus 5, our LCD is just going to be x plus 5, x minus 3. So our first fraction is missing that x plus 5, and our second fraction is missing the x minus 3. Well, if we multiply it on the bottom, we have to multiply by it on the top. And then we'll distribute because we know we're going to need to combine our like terms. So we have 2x plus 10 over x plus 5, x minus 3, plus x minus 3 over x plus 5, x minus 3. And we combine our like terms. So I've got 2x plus another x. I've got 3 x's. And then 10 plus a negative 3, 7. Over x plus 5, x minus 3. Again, we will want to maybe FOIL that back out. Let's see if we can get things to cancel before we worry about that. So this was just our denominator. So remember, we're really taking 3 over x plus 5, and we are dividing by that mess. Well, we're really multiplying by the reciprocal, right? So we have 3 over x plus 5 times, hey, x plus 5 times x minus 3 over 3x plus 7. Our x plus 5's cancel. So we have 3 times x minus 3 over 3x plus 7. Even if I distributed that numerator back through, we would not be able to get those 3x's to cancel. So we'll call this good enough.